All right, here are comics, here next, so your comics, transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube and TV and the responsive comments. I'm against TV and lifestyles, and a few other things. Trigger warning: if you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and click off the video and go watch something else. Do not lie and say it's hate speech in my videos, because there's no hate speech in my videos. It's speech hate. That's a different story. Let's continue on people getting things wrong in these comment sections and me trying to straighten them out with bio versus basic biology, and then getting ticked off about that. So it's where to get vaccinated so you can stop the spread, help stop the spread of germs. And if you do get sick, then it'll be definitely vaccinations can help make it less, make it milder, less impactful, milder cases. That helps out, yeah, most likely because your body's able to fight it off better. Got the antibodies, you know. So that's really cool. Let's continue on here. We have some overlap. I'll read that, but because it's important to read that so we don't miss anything. Oh shoot. No, next time. 1 second. Can we pause without it actually failing? All right, we're back. Okay. Yeah. Got my tablet. My not safe for work. Fan related. Let's go. Look at that. I believe it is Velma today. Velma. Black Velma. Very soft, self-insert Velma. She is pretty much useless. In the realm of being canon at all. She not no. And now I've seen really great picture. The real Velma attacking the fake Velma. Yeah, that's what she gets. The fake Velma, yeah. So going full mask wedgie on that girl. There you go. That's fine with me. Shoot. One of the saddest things is, if they did things right, I mean, like, just didn't have it be called Velma when that girl ain't Velma, then it'd be like, yeah, okay, new show, kind of inspired by Scooby Doo. Okay, cool. That's what these woke DI pushers need to start doing. Instead of trying to be like, hey, look, Suicide Squad, same as the Archiverse, right? Like, no, totally different gameplay style, totally different attitude, totally different everything. The characters that you stole from, basically you're using from the Archiverse are not the same characters at all. They're not strict characters at all. They don't do the same things at all, and then it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to mention that I was Harley is not going to mention that she loved the Joker. I go, no, ignore that. I'm like, nope. Deadshot Black now. Just go with it. Like, no. Same stuff here. It doesn't work. That crap does not work at all. But she does look freaking cute. And, kind of awesome. Nice and squishy and wonderful. But she was in a show where they should have not tried to be, one of the many shows that should not try to be like, yeah, we're the same as the other shows, that we're trying to imitate, and then they're not. Crap did not work, because it's like, this is not the same thing at all. Scooby Doo is about silly mysteries and whatnot. There might be some lessons in there every now and then, but it's usually about silly mysteries and whatnot, not hating on the patriarchy or whatever. Being oppressed, being victims, being oppressed. It's not about that. So yeah, a lot of things going on where it's just basically like, yeah, you guys better, instead of messing around trying to co-opt things that don't work for you, just make your own stuff. It won't be as popular, no, but it might work better because at least it's original. So let's continue on here. Overlap. Then we overlap. What's the word to do that so we don't miss anything? I say true. I have no titles to hide behind. I just tell the truth. And the person says, "Here costs 3 quarters. It's their choice." Again, I don't know if I titled this clip right, but the clip says, "Being trans is not a choice for 18." So it's like someone says, "Being trans is not a choice, but it's their choice." Very sad. And the person said, "Whether it's right or wrong isn't our problem. Actually, it is. As a Christian, I must fight against the dark side. I must fight against sin. You always got to stop sinning. Stop that stuff. It's dangerous. The wages of sin is death. The gift of God is life. We got to help them because they're getting it all wrong." Whatever's happening or regret that comes from that choice is also not our problem. It is. Happiness or regret comes from that choice is also not our problem. Actually, it is because that's wrong. If they're doing wrong, they should stop doing that. Doesn't matter how it makes them feel. With the way the world is, people are allowed to live their lives wherever they want. Yes, true, and that can be very dangerous. I advise you to just leave it and live your life. No, ultimately, none of their choices or decisions affect you, other than, of course, seeing people destroy themselves. The reward or consequence of that way of life, the way they live their lives falls on them. But of course, if you could have helped out and you didn't, that's a bad idea, bad thing too. So don't do that. Yeah, it is. It affects us all to see this not happen. We gotta help out. Let's go. And I say, sorry, but the Bible says rescue those being led away to death, hold back those targeted towards slaughter, Proverbs 24:11. And it also says, 12, so in everything do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets, Matthew 7:12. Yes, it is the person's choice what they are going to do in life, but it's a Christian's job to tell people that they are messing up when they make the wrong choice. It says, blah. And so it says, what if the other person has a different religion? It doesn't matter. That does not matter. Nope. We're going to just go. I say that it's up to Christian to show them that Christianity is better. And someone says, I mean, I don't want to start an argument or anything, but that's sort of like saying, I follow this diet, so you should too. I think it's kind of cool. Good. There are different religions because it makes stuff sort of fresh and cool. Anything against your religion, I think that's pretty cool. But if someone follows a different religion, that's not bad. Isn't that fine too? And I say, as long as it doesn't go against mine, Like, as long as it doesn't go against mine. And then the person says, what do you mean by that? And I say, as long as the person's belief system does not go against mine, then I am okay with it. That diet analogy works very well. I want people to stop eating poison. In this case, instead of grease and too much salt and sugar, it's fear. Fear of what could happen to you because of what body you were born with. Psalms 91:2 says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. We must learn that trust that God gave us the bodies we were supposed to have. Psalms 139 has lots of things to say about how well God knows us. Including 13, for you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. Click. Got some time? I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Then someone says, here it goes. Interesting. So you don't mind me asking, what exactly does Psalms mean? Is it a section of the Bible or something like that? Yeah. Like that, English might not be the first language. Yeah. And what do the numbers mean? And also, I have seen some of your other comments that say people need to change their attitude instead of transitioning. Well, they do. Yeah. I actually want to transition when I'm older. The lies are still. I see you're against that. I've been really uncomfortable with myself for a long time. I gotta learn to get over that uncomfortableness. Without transitioning. What are ways we can learn to have a better attitude about? Click. They're better talking about themselves. I disagree with you, but I might be wrong. And then this one says, I never do that. The more you know. And I feed these animations. And I say, Psalms in the Bible. It's the longest book in the Bible, and it is awesome. Yeah. Sure. Continue on here. There are so many wonderful verses in there. A lot of them are about how awesome God is and how he made us skillfully and wants the best for us. That is why there is no need to transition, aka or the what biological sex you are. He made you the sex you're supposed to be. How many do I have? Got those time. There you go. Let's go. You did. Go. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. That's how it is. And someone says, okay, that seems really interesting. So from what I understand, God is really, really, really really powerful. You said he literally made people and skillfully designed them. So I was wondering, why does God just decide everything? It's free, because it's free will. Also, how do people understand what God says? They can learn it. How he speaks. See how that works. Yeah, how it goes. It's how it goes. Because gods are like so much more advanced than humans, from what I understand. So if the gods decide everything, why didn't God make it where people didn't want to transition? We have to learn not to. Like gods are very much capable of seeing exactly what people think. Yes. Well, we have to learn to trust him on stuff. That's how it goes. See, have a real thing. And someone says, my mom used that all the time to guilt me to change the way what bitches I was. You regret it, and what if you don't like how you'll look? And you're going to hurt your body because you're forcing it to do what you want. It's not normal. It isn't. It'll hurt you. I'll be hurt if you do it. Think about me for once. Me too, for once. This is the person. And then someone says, "Yo, gosh, why would to love thy neighbor through lies?" And like, I don't do that too. Lies. I do it through truth. That's what I said. In Greek mythology, Prometheus got really drunk and made people with the wrong genitals. Religion is completely suggestive. According to lies I was told. Go. This active according to lies I was told. But if you're going to go with the Bible, then once again I'm asking, love thy neighbor through lies. Like I do through lies, I do the truth. Thy neighbor, this line meets the people you are connected to. Such people might include strangers on the internet. I say part of loving is telling people the truth. Part of love is telling the truth. The truth. And holding back those telling towards slaughter. So doing what I'm supposed to do, doing as a Christian. See you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt.